Now, at 9, another Memphis police officer and 3 fire personnel have been laid off in connection to the death of 29-year-old Tyree Nichols, what officials are saying.
Plus, a possible apartment complex could be on the way to Muncie's southwest side, how the proposed project could dig into the city's taxes.
And a 21-year-old has a sweet tooth for entrepreneurship, how he's making a difference one scoop at a time.
And more in my full forecast.
Delaware County's only live television newscast from Ball State University's Unified Media Newsroom. You're watching Newslink, Indiana.
Good evening. Thanks for being with us. I'm Mira Bloomer.
And I'm Lily Kroon. Developers want to build a new apartment complex on the southwest side of Muncie near the corner of Tillotson and Memorial Drive. It will potentially change the landscape of that part of town.
Newslink Indiana's Catherine Segal found out how the new apartments could affect the housing supply in Muncie.
A proposal for a new apartment complex financed by tax credits is in the works. The Michaels Place apartments are expected to have 276 units, ranging from single-room to 4-bedroom spaces, a tennis court, basketball court, swimming pool, and a potential park.
There's off-campus apartments everywhere, and it's kind of what this feels like. It's about as large as the Haven or the University Village apartments.
Seth Rawlings found his interest in politics at 19. Now at 21, he has questions about the impact of the tax money being used on new housing in Muncie. We have
a lot of crises in Muncie. We have a problem with overdoses and addictions. We have a lot of problems with roads. We have a lot of problems with basic access to mental health care and certain large-scale things that the city could be investing in.
While Rawlings has one opinion, there is support for this project.
There are people who support this idea, and they're not bad people. They might even be necessarily wrong, right? It's just a matter of opinion. They see this as a big step for the South Side.
Economist Michael Hicks says the problem is too many homes and a lack of amenities in Muncie.
The fact is, when you have excess homes that could, accommodate 10,000 people probably or more, and you're building new housing, that's not going to affect very much within the region.
Hicks has a different perspective.
I think their argument might be that the type of housing that exists is not attractive to residents.
Rawlings encourages people to get involved in local politics. In Muncie, Newslink, Indiana, Catherine Segal.
Mayor Dan Ridenour says this project will not cause any new debt. He hopes construction will start this spring.
As the month wraps up, Muncie residents can look forward to February for all that it can offer, including the First Thursday Gallery Walk. First Thursday is an event where Muncie displays the beautiful work of local artists. This month features the acrylic and tattoo art of Anwar Ruma Frazier, as well as other ceramic work from Kimberly Anderson and paintings from Scott Anderson. Frazier's work will be viewable in the Great Room on the second floor of Cornerstone Center for the Arts, while Kimberly and Scott Anderson's art will be presented at the Gordy Fine Art and Framing Company. Countless other works will be presented throughout Muncie. So for more information on the gallery walk, visit First Thursday's Facebook page to join in on the fun.
A delicious fundraiser is coming to Delaware County February 8th. The Muncie Optimist Club are hosting the event at 1000 Degrees Pizza. All proceeds go toward helping local youth within the community. Club President Bob Walsh spoke on the change this event could bring.
The 1000 Degree Pizza is very good as they donate a percentage of sales to us, which we use to further our youth work in the local area. All the money that we raise, like with the pizza and some of our other fundraisers throughout the year, is supposed to go to youth work. So we'll do things like we give a scholarship away to a high school senior every month throughout the year, to each of the high schools.
The event takes place that night from 5 to 8 and is open to everybody.
Even with the snowfall, an ice cream shop in Albany is staying open throughout the season. This shop has gained a lot of attention on social media, close to 1,000 shares on Facebook.
Newslink Indiana's Anna Chalker gives us the scoop.
On a snowy day in Albany, Iceberg ice cream remains open for people to get a sweet treat.
Blueberry, strawberry, vanilla, chocolate.
The idea for the shop came from the Thornburg's son, Cameron.
Cameron's had some hard times, some medical issues and stuff, but he just jumped right in.
Cameron's food started to be noticed at local farmers markets.
We did like bread and jam and jelly.
But his menu changed from fresh to frozen with the help of a machine over 4 times his age.
And then we started building this ice cream maker that's 96 years old.
Once he found the perfect recipe, everyone wanted a scoop.
People started asking to buy it and stuff, so then we bought a concession trailer after that and then parked it out here most days before we owned the building.
All of this work started in 2019 during his senior year of high school.
Everybody thought I was crazy, of course.
After opening the doors in 2021, Cameron spends most days creating new flavors, ones that even include an entire pumpkin pie. But he still sticks to his favorite flavor.
Probably vanilla.
And customers of all ages can try them all.
That's going to take you a while.
But the support is not only inside the shop.
Everybody's been super supportive all the time.
With the growing support, a 21-year-old owner, a 96-year-old machine, and a 2-year-old business is building a legacy. In Albany, Anna Chalker, Newslink, Indiana.
If you are interested in all the flavors Iceberg has or where you can buy, you can visit the Ice Cream Iceberg shop at on the Facebook page. I bet it's really cold in there, and it's also been pretty cold outside, as we can see from Beneficence.
So let's pass it to Oliver to see if the snow will stick around.
Well, the snow won't be the only thing sticking around. Most likely your ice cream will not melt this coming week with these cooler temperatures. But looking at the current temperatures, we're sitting at 23 degrees here in Muncie, 20 degrees in Indianapolis, up there in the single digits in Chicago, but generally throughout the 20s in the state of Indiana. Now, today seemed a little bit cold due to that northerly wind, but we were actually a couple degrees higher than the average high for January 30th. Our high today in Muncie was 30 degrees. Average high is around 28 degrees. Definitely not seeing a 60-degree weather here in this coming week. Most likely going to be seeing that as we move into March, but hey, that's an entire month away. What I'm going to be talking about in my full forecast, though, we are definitely going to be seeing those temperatures stick in the 30s throughout this week, and those partly cloudy conditions continue as well. Move into a little bit of a windy weekend, but I'll have all that and more in my full forecast.
Thank you, Oliver. Now to new developments in the death of 29-year-old Tyree Nichols.
Memphis police say a 6th officer has been laid off the job in connection to his death. According to Memphis police, Officer Preston Hemphill has been relieved from his duties. His attorney says he wasn't present at the second scene, but he recorded body cam video of the initial traffic stop. He also says his client is cooperating with the investigation. Hemphill joins 5 others the department has fired in connection to the beating of Nichols on January 7th. Those others have been charged with murder and kidnapping, and the department has disbanded their unit. Shelby County's district attorney says more charges could be possible.
When the blows are as severe as they are, we're comfortable that we'll be able to prove that the defendants were reasonably certain, and that's really all that is required for a knowing killing, which is the relevant language for the second-degree murder statute.
There's also been bipartisan condemnation of the deadly encounter and a growing call for federal policing reform.
Difficult to watch. What strikes me is just a lack of respect for human life.
We need a national conversation about policing in a responsible, constitutional, and humane way.
And just hours ago, we learned that 3 first responders who were at the scene have been terminated by the Memphis Fire Department. Those responders include EMTs Robert Long and Jamichael Sandridge, and the fire truck driver Michelle Whittaker. They were dispatched for a pepper spray incident, and they arrived at the initial scene where Nichols was pulled over. 5 minutes later, they made it to the second scene, where Nichols was beaten by a police officer after he fled the first scene. He was handcuffed on the ground and leaning against a police vehicle when the first responders arrived, suffering from injuries that would result in his death 3 days later.
And be sure to stick with Newslink Indiana as we provide the latest information on the death of Tyree Nichols. We'll keep you updated both on air and online at ballstatedaily.com.
House Speaker Kevin McCarthy is set to meet with President Biden regarding the country's debt ceiling, what lawmakers are saying.
And your Super Bowl snacks might cost a bit less this year. Hear why in minutes. Welcome back. More than 30 people are dead and 120 others are injured after an explosion inside a mosque in Pakistan today.
Police say the blast took place in the northwestern city of Peshawar in the middle of the afternoon prayers, adding it was probably a, quote, suicide blast. The mosque is situated inside the police lines in the city and mostly attended by law enforcement officials. The Secretary General of the United States strongly condemned the bombing. Here's what his spokesperson had to say.
It is particularly abhorrent that such an attack occurred at a place of worship. Freedom of religion, freedom of belief, and the ability to worship in peace is a fundamental human right. The Secretary General extends his heartfelt condolences to the families of the victims and wishes a prompt recovery to those injured. And he reiterates the solidarity of the United Nations and the government and people of Pakistan in their efforts to address terrorism and violent extremism.
Rescue operations were still underway late today inside the mosque.
Back here at home, Kevin McCarthy will meet with President Joe Biden Wednesday. Among the issues to be addressed, the U.S. debt ceiling. This is the first time since becoming Speaker of the House that McCarthy will meet with Biden. A White House spokesperson says the president will ask McCarthy if he, quote, intends to meet his constitutional obligation to prevent a national debt default. 24 Senate Republicans, including several freshmen, said in a letter to President Biden that they won't back a debt ceiling increase with at least equal spending reductions imposed.
Celsius fitness drinks skyrocketed in popularity in recent years. Now the energy drink company has settled a class action lawsuit over claims about the ingredients. Celsius had promoted the beverage as being free of preservatives, but turns out the product has citric acid. If you bought a Celsius beverage or mix anytime from January 2015 to November 23, 2022, you can get a payout. You have to have proof of purchase, such as a receipt, to receive up to $250. Without a receipt, you can still get a $20 payment. You have until February 1st to submit a claim. There's more to celebrate this year than a thrilling Super Bowl game and a blockbuster halftime show.
It's likely going to cost you less this year than it did a year ago to serve up some of those popular dishes. A pound of chicken wings is down 22% from last January due to an increase in supply. That's according to a new Super Bowl food report by Wells Fargo. And to top it all off, guac is also down after a surge in prices in 2022. Avocados are now at a bargain. The average retail price coming down 20% since last year.
This year's Super Bowl between the Philadelphia Eagles and Kansas City Chiefs will make history in more ways than one. It's the first time in history that two black quarterbacks, Patrick Mahomes and Jalen Hurts, will start in the big game. Patrick Mahomes is already the third black quarterback to win the Super Bowl, a title he got when he won the playoffs in 2020. If the Chiefs win, Mahomes will be the first black quarterback in the NFL history to win multiple Super Bowls. And if Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts gets the trophy, he'll become the fourth black quarterback to win it. In addition, Chiefs player Travis Kelce and Eagles player Jason Kelce will become the first brothers to play each other in the Super Bowl. The Chiefs and Eagles are set to face off February 12th at State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona.
And we've got these cooler temperatures sticking in central Indiana. I'll tell you all that and more in my full forecast after the break.
Baby, you see, I cannot set you free. My Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think it's just vapor with flavor.
It won't hurt my kid like cigarettes, right?
Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
There's really not even that much nicotine in them, right?
My kid?
My kid knows it's dangerous.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping, maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
Emotes say a lot, but they can't say it all. Think your guildmate is struggling? Try these dialogue options. Go beyond emotes. Check in with your guildmates at seizetheawkward.org.
Every day,
millions of people are connecting
and even though we're overcoming obstacles,
watching each other's backs,
and banding together.
we should still make an effort.
We should still make an
to
effort
get to know each other.
on a deeper level. Father,
Cosplayer,
mentor.
actor.
It's time we take a step forward
It's time we take a step forward.
Come together
and discover
How accepting our differences
can make us stronger.
Welcome back. You're taking a live look outside at the Foundational Science Building. Now, I do know that building pretty well as a biology major, so I walk that at 8 a.m. every single day, and I can tell you it was a little bit chilly today.
Oh yeah, as you can see, the snow is still on the ground. Now
Yeah,
let's pass it to Oliver and see what he has next.
Well, that snow is most likely going to be sticking on the ground for the rest of the week, but these current temperatures, 23 degrees here in Muncie, 20 degrees in Indianapolis, and again, generally throughout the 20s and into the upper teens as you make your way across the states. Now, I mentioned a little bit earlier that we did see temperatures a little bit warmer than what we normally do see for January 30th, but overall in January, we were seeing average temperatures higher than what we normally see. Averagely, we were sitting about 44.3 degrees. Normally, historically, we're around 35 degrees for the entire average temperature for the month of January, but we were a little bit lower on total precipitation. As we can see here, as of January 30th, we've only received about an inch and a half of precipitation, not including snow. Normally, we are a little bit closer to 3 inches at this point in time in the month. Again, snow is not included in that total, but we did see a little bit lower snowfall totals for this year as well. Speaking of snow, we definitely saw that band of precipitation move through Muncie earlier this morning, but we're not seeing too much snow here on the radar, and those cloudy conditions are definitely going to continue as we move into tonight. Again, mostly cloudy, low of around 15 degrees. Winds coming from the north around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Now, those northerly winds and those cloudy conditions are going to continue as we move into tomorrow as well. 16 degrees there for your 8 a.m. walk. That is going to be frigid, so make sure to bundle up. It's not going to get too much warmer as you move into the afternoon hours. High is going to be around 24 degrees for tomorrow. Again, with those northerly winds bringing some colder air into our area. Tomorrow night looking pretty similar to tonight with partly cloudy skies, lows in the teens, and winds coming from the north-northwest at around 5 miles per hour. Now we are seeing the jet stream bring a couple parcels of cooler air here from Canada into central Indiana. Again, those cooler temperatures are definitely going to be sticking around for the rest of the week, most likely as we move into February as well. And with these cooler temperatures, you might want to grab a special someone and cuddle up with them. And hey, a great day to do that is Valentine's Day, February 14th, which is only 15 days away. And if you're planning on ordering a gift for that special someone, it might be a great idea to start ordering that that now because we all know how shipping delays and stuff like that can put a bummer on the holiday gift giving protocols and whatnot. So make sure you're ordering those gifts now, or at least hopping out to the local Payless and buying something nice for your special someone. But again, those cooler temperatures, definitely trying not to put too much on a frozen heart either. But here again, 7-day forecast, cold for tomorrow, high of 24 degrees. Then we're going to be seeing temperatures in the 30s, almost here to the 40s here on Thursday. Cooling right back down to the mid-20s as we move into the weekend. Windy for your Saturday and Sunday. Chances for precipitation do increase, as well as that temperature moving into the mid to low 40s as we start off next week. So again, pretty cool week is what we are looking at here in Muncie. And I mean, I don't expect these temperatures to get too much higher than the 40s as we move into February either.
Yeah, honestly, 40s is honestly kind of warm for January. And I know you had some good advice about that, getting your gifts for your significant other, getting on that early.
Thank you.
But I know you said those averages were a little bit higher than historically, which is very interesting, but it sure doesn't feel like that.
Oh no, it does not.
Now let's go off to Brandon with sports.
Two local high schools face off in the City of Champions tournament play, and one Ball State program makes a homestand. All this and more next in sports.
Here's your sandwich, miss.
Oh, thank you.
And your burger.
Awesome, thank you.
And your bowl of boiling water, sir.
After retiring from the NFL, I've been able to spend a lot more time coaching my daughter's basketball teams. It's something I love to do. Through our games and our tournaments, we see all types of coaching, good and bad. And it begs the question, do we really know who's coaching our kids? Do they have the proper training and screening it would take for me to be comfortable with my daughters playing for that coach? Our Youth Basketball Association made the decision to use trusted coaches to screen and train all of our coaches. I'm a trusted coach. Are you?
So if one cat has 4 kittens who reproduce every 6 months, how many cats will there be in 5 years? Who's got it? Is this... What is that? Seriously? Who threw that?
Cats are terrible at math, but they sure do multiply. Please spay, neuter, and adopt.
The solution is 10.
Welcome back to Newslink, Indiana. I'm Brandon Beeman with sports. This past Saturday featured 2 high school basketball teams searching for a win. Newslink, Indiana's Zach Greer went to the Muncie Central Fieldhouse to capture the event.
The second annual City of Champions Basketball Invitational had the Muncie Fieldhouse busy over the weekend, with the first game being between 2 Delaware County foes in the Muncie Burris Owls and the Muncie Central Bearcats. And with these schools only separated by 2 miles, this matchup draws a lot of attention to the entire Muncie community.
You know, it's fun for Muncie Burris and Muncie Central to get a chance to play in a tournament. You know, we don't get to play in the Delaware County tournament, so to have one where we get to play each other every year is fun, and you know, it brings out quite a few fans.
This matchup between the 2 schools took place at 10 a.m., a game that several Bearcat players can appreciate.
I mean, we play at 10 a.m. It kind of feels like an AAU game. I mean, you kind of got to bring your own energy because there's not a lot of fans here, but I mean, it was still fun. It's good to beat the other team in the city.
Coming into the matchup, Muncie Central was on a 4-game losing streak. So, how do you stop it?
More pressure, getting into the guys more. Yeah, I mean, we were just trying to get back to how we were playing earlier in the season. with a lot of effort.
After a close first half, the Bearcats applying full court pressure to force 17 Burris turnovers, a task that Muncie Central worked on till the final buzzer.
I mean, this week we're really just focusing on ourselves. Like you said, we had a tough 4-game stretch, but I mean, we're really just going to go out there and play our game, and it starts with defense.
The Bearcats' next matchup will take place Thursday night, where they travel to face the 10-6 Marion Giants. In Muncie, Zach Greer, Newslink, Indiana.
To stay on the hardwood, Ball State men's volleyball serves up a Saturday sweep as they take on the visiting Sacred Heart University. The Cardinals look to finish the weekend off right versus the Pioneers after a 3-0 straight sets victory over Queens on Friday. Ball State makes quick work in set 1 with a 25-11 win. The Pioneers make it interesting, but the Cardinals maintain control with a 25-16 victory in the second set. The third and final set saw more of the same as Ball State took it with a score of 25-21 as the Cardinals sweep the match 3-0. Ball State senior Caleb Jennis ends the night in dominant fashion with 14 kills out of 24 attempts, as sophomore Vaness Buckles holds it down defensively with 8 blocks. The Cardinals will look to face number 12 BYU this Thursday in Worthen Arena with action at 7 p.m. Another Cardinal club takes flight in Worthen as Ball State Gymnastics makes its home debut in a quad meet yesterday. The Cardinals head into the meet 7-4 on the year and took on 3 schools in Pitt, Southeast Missouri, and Fisk University. Junior Hannah Ruthberg earned the honor of Ball State Gymnast of the Meet and helps lead the Cardinals to an all-around meet victory. As 2 programs make homestands, Ball State men's basketball hits the road for a date with a MAC foe. The Cardinals are set to take on the Bowling Green Falcons in Ohio. Ball State heads into the matchup 14-7 on the year and 5-3 in the MAC. On the flip side of the court, the Falcons enter into the contest 10-11 on the year and 4-4 in the MAC. Tip-off is set for 7 p.m. This Ball State team is looking really good this year. Michael Lewis, first-year head coach, he's got it under control right now.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I'm really dying to go to one of those games.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll join you.
Well, there is a home game coming up this Friday against Eastern Michigan.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you, Brandon.
After the break, the Jonas Brothers made their permanent mark in Hollywood.
Plus, we have one final look at weather next.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just like the rules to surviving Zombieland, there are steps you can take to be prepared for an emergency.
It's the right thing to do.
Talk with your family to make a plan. Look for safe areas to meet up if separated. And stock up on supplies. It's never too early to get prepared, so start now.
Right now?
Right now. You can't predict emergencies, but you can be ready.
You're welcome, America.
Visit ready.gov today to learn more.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right. Because a few hours ago in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
The Jonas Brothers got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame today.
It was the first public event for Nick's 1-year-old daughter, Malti. Malti was born prematurely and spent more than 100 days in the NICU. The multi-platinum Grammy-nominated pop rock band released its first of 5 studio albums. And let's see what this has to bring for weather.
Well, again, most likely it's sunny and 75 up there in California. But here, seeing good temperatures in the 30s throughout this week. A little bit of a dip going into the weekends and windy conditions as we move into the beginning of February. But then temperatures jump right back up into the 40s for the beginning of the week.
And that's all tonight for Newslink Indiana. Be sure to join us tomorrow again, night at 9, streaming live on the Newslink Indiana Facebook page.
And for news anytime, anywhere, go to ballstatedaily.com. Have a great night.